there, I hope you're doing well this fine day. I'm coming to you actually today with a boring video. Boring video about insurance, homeowners insurance. And let me tell you a story. As you know, if you've been keeping up with my channel, I am both in addition to being a divorce specialist, I'm also a trust and probate specialist. So this was on a trust and probate case. The lady of the homeowner passed away and left her home in a will, named her nephew to be in charge of her affairs. Now what happens in that case, again, kind of boring, it takes several months to be appointed by the court. And this is going back to last spring. So March or something, she passed away. Then he wasn't appointed until December 20th. During that time, the insurance auto-renewed because, thank God, there was a small loan being paid automatically on it, and there were impound accounts, which I always recommended. It makes your life a lot easier to have impound accounts. So the insurance was being paid and put the home on the market, and everything's going fine. We're in escrow, and a fire breaks out. And nobody's living in the home, thank God, and it was very, very minor damage. I'll tell you about that too. Electrical fire in the light from the bathroom went up into the attic, got into this, started smoldering in the blown-in insulation, and it was a slow smolder all night long. The smoke detectors were going off, but nobody was in there to do anything about it. And the neighbors said they kept on hearing it, but they didn't know what it was. And then the next morning, somebody who was out jogging found it and called the fire department. Fire department did an amazing job. With the precision of a plastic surgeon, they went in and worked out the house. They barely damaged the house at all. It was pretty incredible, given what could have been. It could have burned to the ground. Anyway, so my seller was out of state, and I ran down there, and he lives out of state actually. We ran down there and went to see what's what. We met with the fire department, then we scheduled for the fire inspector, and the insurance claims adjuster. And when the insurance claims adjuster came out, the first thing out of her mouth was, "Oh dear, the lady died unless there is a beneficiary named who happens to also be the executor of the will. There is no coverage on this fire." And I was like, oh my God, no coverage on this issue? That's insane, right? So thank God it turned out to be under $20,000 worth of damage. It could have been an absolute fortune. And it could have really, truly, it could have burned to the ground, and then they would have had exactly nothing. But in this case, it didn't burn to the ground, thank God. But the moral of the story is, do an audit check on your homeowner's insurance. If you've had any sort of change, if you've inherited a property, if you've gotten divorced, make sure that the named beneficiary and the named, I don't even know what it's called, but the person, if you're living in the home and say there's an outspouse, make sure that the person who owns the property, the person whose name is on title, they're the ones who are going to be the beneficiary of the insurance policy, because the insurance companies are not out to help you. They are out to maintain as much money as possible in their pockets. So you have to watch your own back. Do an audit once every year or 2 years. Again, if you've had any sort of change in your life or lifestyle, that's a good idea to do. Maybe put your kids on if you have adult kids, something to protect yourself. One never knows what's going to happen. There's a house down the street from me, had suffered the same kind of fire actually, probably 3 years ago. And it's been sitting there with just in framing. Doesn't even have plywood walls up for 3 years. 3 years. I don't know where the fight is, but somebody's not paying, and that homeowner can't move forward. It's really very, very sad. Thank God, again, in that situation, nobody was hurt. Anyway, boring as heck. Andrea Shink with Compass Real Estate. I hope you and your family are well, and thanks for watching. As always, please reach out if I can do anything to help you or answer any questions you might have. Have a terrific day.